Hey everybody, Chris here. Welcome. We're going to be talking about this crypto crash that we've got today, why it is. We'll be looking at the charts. We'll be looking at, uh, just some of the price action as we're live, as well as looking at newly printed articles on why this is happening, a number of different reasons, spans across quite a bit of different, um, uh, you different aspects of the economy, banking, and crypto, and a lot of it, yeah, a lot of it not good. So we're going to be talking about that. Let me drop down in the corner here. We're looking at the Bitcoin chart right now. Bitcoin's at 20,100. It looked like around 4 o'clock today. This is on the 5 minutes, so I'm kind of zoomed in, but it looked like Bitcoin here was gonna stay above 20,000. When around 4 o'clock it bounced off. This yellow line is 20,000. Looked like it was stabilizing above, but then just in the past hour it did dip below. So we did have a quick dip below, which leads to liquidations. We're going to talk about that as well in a little bit. Dogecoin back up over 6.5 cents. We did see a drop all the way down here to 638. I'll talk about these green things in a minute. But yeah, we did come down to 638, but now recovering back up. If I go back to the hourly, we can see a little more clearly what happened with this dip here. It happened pretty quick too. Hey, Jason, welcome. How are you? I saw that you followed me on Twitter. Thanks for coming aboard on Twitter. We'll be checking out Twitter in a little bit. Yep, I bought some more on the dip today too. Hey, Nathan, how are you? Welcome. Me, you. Yeah, big dump. Big dump today, yeah. So last night I had bought some at 0704 and was celebrating my million Doge that I now have. And but today, as it was dipping below 7 cents, I did have I did have another limit order that was set at about 688. That hit very quickly. And then as the price was going down, I even bought some more. I didn't catch the bottom. I got another limit order that set down even lower, but I did catch here at about 661 or so. I think was another purchase I made. So I made a couple more Doge purchases today. But I was buying. I was rounding out some of my other portfolio as well, and we'll talk about some altcoins there. Howdy, Toss D, welcome. Yeah, that's and if you've been watching me, right? What do we say? Blood in the streets. That's when you buy. At least that's what I'm doing. Is it a big mistake? Are we going to see Bitcoin going down to 15,000 or 10,000? And then I'm going to be holding these big bags? I don't know. But I'm in it for the long run because I'm not selling and I'm trading. I'm holding this stuff. And I'm holding, waiting for the next bull run. Because we zoom out and we look on the Dogecoin chart on the daily, and we zoom out and we know where Dogecoin has been, right? So we're way down here. So I'm buying down here. And we know that Doge has been at 15 cents, 18 cents. We've been up at 20 cents. We've been up at 30 cents. Well, from 6 to 30, that's a 5x, right? So, or 7 to 30, at least 4x, that's a pretty good return. I don't know when we're going to get to 30 cents on Doge. However, it's going to happen sometime. So we're in this point of this bear market. And I've been talking about the bear market for months. And even with that January rally, I was still saying, guys, don't get too excited here because we're still in a bear market. And that was just, and this rally, particularly on Bitcoin that we had here, that came up from, the beginning of January and ended up peaking up here just over 25,000. I wasn't buying up here. I wasn't doing any buying up here. Some people were. A lot of people were all excited that this is taken off, but I wasn't buying up there. I was buying after. Well, I bought a couple of these dips, I guess, right? So that's not entirely true, because I did buy some SHIB right before what we thought was going to be Shibarium in the middle of February. And now I'm like regretting that, because that was kind of FOMOing in, thinking that Shibarium was going to come out. So I've got a few SHIB that are just that I bought just a little bit higher. And I've got this on this chart here, where I was buying SHIB. It was up here above 12. So now with SHIB down here at 10, and I'm holding some SHIB bags here. My last SHIB purchase was that one right there, about 1150. So that's probably the only one that I'm really bad on of buying on these dips that I've been. But I am down on a lot of them, because this drop here really wasn't that expected. Let me zoom in back to the hourly, and we can see again what we're talking about here is this drop right here. But we may be seeing a bit of recovery here now. Bitcoin is not convinced, though. Bitcoin coming back down, maybe retest 20,000 here. So we'll see whether that happens while we're talking here. So back on the 30-minute. Yeah, it looks like it wicked down below 20. We don't have a bar below 20 on the 30-minute. Came back up, and it may come back and retest it. So we'll keep this on the 5-minute zoomed in a little closer while we're looking at that. So yes, when Lambo, 1 million. So I'm well north of 1 million now with my purchases today. So I'm in it for Doge. I've got a lot of other cryptos too. I'm heavy in Algorand, heavy in others, but a lot of Doge. Should have waited a day. Yeah, you never know, Jason. You never know. I was so proud of my 7.04, cent Doge yesterday. Didn't think we'd be seeing 6.5 so soon, but there it is. Hey, Kartikia, how are you? I hope Doge performs this coming week as well, too. And we'll be talking about that in a minute. MJ, how are you? Don't have any more money to buy the dip. 663, that's not bad. That's not bad. And I'm now dry. I spent all of my end of February cash that I had because I had been saving and waiting. And today was the day. Now, is it going to drop a little more? Tomorrow it could. But it just seemed to me like, okay, this is the time to relieve the rest of my buying power, right? And put it all in. And again, this is, as a trader, I'm buying dips. I'm not DCAing. I'm buying dips. Huge dip today. I had some limit order set that I didn't think were going to hit, and they hit. They all hit. Even Optimism hit. And I thought that was pretty low. That hit as well. And I caught Optimism right at the bottom. So I felt good about that one. But again, I'm looking out a year or two. So these are long-term investments, at least a year, so that when I do sell, they're not short-term capital gains. It's long-term. I don't know, the United States is part of the FUD, right? These new tax laws, and they're going to be hard on crypto. They're going to try and get rid of wash trading, going to try and tax more capital gains. And I'm just like, can't win, right? Can't win. So you bought at 067 PED. When you see blood in the streets, you got to load up. Exactly. Like I've been saying for months, bear markets are when you create wealth. You don't see it in the bear market, though. You're going to see it in the future. Again, no guarantees, but when that bull market hits again, altcoins are going up, Bitcoin's going up. That's when we're going to reap the rewards of buying here. Now, is it going to go lower? We could see lower dips. We could see Dogecoin, testing 6 cents. We could see Bitcoin testing 17K, maybe even 15K. Those kinds of things could happen. There's a lot of people calling for more pain coming in crypto as the squeeze is being put on the United States by the Fed and the SEC, and it's almost like it's an attack on crypto that's going on. And so this is bad. This is bear market stuff, right? The FUD is really deep. On top of that, we're talking possible recession, high inflation, and raising interest rates and all that on top of it. So yeah, we're in a tough spot right now. But I'm telling you what I'm doing, and I'm buying dips, and I am accumulating at these prices for the year or two to come. Is what I'm doing. Short term, in the past few hours, I'm down on some of those purchases because I didn't think we were going to quite be dipping this much. But it just seemed like this was a good time to get in and then wait it out. So, Giannis, how are you? You bought at 7 cents and ran out of money, right? Hopefully we jump back up above 7 cents real quick. I'd like to see that. Just jump back up. Jadranko, how are you? Add another 10,000 today, almost to 1 million. All right. That's a good target. Tun, how are you? Hello. Hey, Bill. If you have 10 billion SHIB, you're almost guaranteed to be a millionaire by next year. I've got, how many did I end up buying? 7? I don't even remember now because it was so long ago. Yeah, I've got 7 billion SHIB. I'm not going to miss that next SHIB run. So I'm on board with it. This was all stuff I bought in February. And then that one last purchase last week. That's what that is. But yeah, I'm aboard. You heard what YouTuber calling Bitcoin down to 12,000. There's a lot of them. It's like it's either bull run and rockets to the moon, or it's a complete crash. And what have I been saying? I've been talking about, hold on, we're in a bear market. There's going to be a lot of sideways trading, and there's going to be dips. I'm not calling for Bitcoin to 12,000. I think there's too much support. And I know there's this talk about institutions getting out of risk-on assets, which crypto is considered. But there's so many others that don't want to miss this opportunity of buying Bitcoin. And as Bitcoin goes, so goes the crypto market for the most part. Bitcoin is actually down a higher percentage than a lot of other altcoins right now. The Bitcoin dominance actually went down today. Bitcoin was getting hammered more than most of the altcoins. There were some that were dropping faster, but yeah. CPI tomorrow. No, CPI is next week. We've got jobs tomorrow. It's jobs tomorrow. CPI is going to be next week. That's my understanding. But even so, if it comes out bad, Bitcoin could fall. Now, so some people are seeing some CME, some sort of closing some positions at about 19.3, and then maybe down to 18.8. And that's the lowest that I can see Bitcoin dropping right now. So that's what I see. So I don't see Doge going down to 5 or 4 cents either. So Toon, you're going to have to make your own decision about buying. I tell you what I'm doing. And I bought some Doge, some more Doge today, and it was at a higher price than 6.5. I bought it 6.6. It was right over here. It was right around 3:30 today. That was my last Doge purchase of the day here. Was like 662 or something like that was where I grabbed some Doge there. We're below that price now. If you bought now, you'd be getting it at a better price than what I bought because it's still down a little bit there. But like tonight, we could see with the Asian markets, we could see this going back up again tonight. Or we could see the Asian markets just hammer this all down even lower. We don't know. Yeah, good to see some people. This is the thing, right? When there's when there's just sideways trading and the markets are boring, you guys aren't hanging out with me on YouTube. You're doing other stuff, right? But when there's a crash or there's rocket ships, you guys are here. So welcome. Sorry, it's under this red market dip situation here, little crypto crash, but that's what we've got. So yeah, that's where we are. The more pain, the more fun I have. Okay. Will the removal of wash trading be beneficial for crypto? Less incentive to dump bags. That's an interesting thought. I think a lot of people have really just been taking advantage of it for tax reasons. Because at the end of, and it really only affects December more than anything else, because you get a number of people that are selling by December 31st if they're trying to sort of balance out profits and losses so that they're not stuck with some short-term capital gains tax on a profit. So if they have something that's in a loss on December 31st, they can sell it, right? And then just rebuy it again. And they can even that out. So the wash trading, that really doesn't come into play until the end of the year. People aren't wash trading in March. There's no reason to. There's no reason to sell and then rebuy in March. It's really end of the year stuff. That's my take on that. DCA, no dry powder. Yep, me too. I got no more dry powder. I used it all up today. So is ETH a security now? Joshua asks. So this is one of my articles. So let's get into it, guys, okay? New York Attorney General alleges Ethereum is a security in a lawsuit against KuCoin. So here we go again, right? They're battling the exchanges, and they're going to the exchanges in order to hurt crypto. And so New York Attorney General, and why is it New York, and why is it the New York Attorney General and not the SEC? I don't know. I think it's a coordinated attack between the Fed, the SEC, attorney generals, courts, whatever it's going to be that's going on here against crypto. That's what's going on right now. But per the lawsuit, Supreme Court State of New York says the KuCoin illegally sold Ethereum, Luna, and Terra USD on its platform. The tokens are commodity, or they're securities under the Martin Act. Specifically, these cryptos represent investments of money in common enterprises with profits to be derived primarily from the efforts of others. So that's the Howey test. And so what she's pointing to here is largely pointing right to Vitalik Buterin and the Ethereum Foundation. They launched the initial coin offering in 2014 to fund its operations. Participants sold Bitcoin in return for promises of future Ether when the network launched in 2015. And through that started this path of Ethereum going down the road of being a security. Because not only did it have this initial ICO, not a fair launch, but it was pre-launch. But also, Ether was promoted as an investment directly on the Ethereum Foundation's website. Claims that many users see it as a digital store of value because the creation of new ETH slows down over time. Very interesting. What other cryptocurrency do you guys think is seen as a digital store of value and creation of new coins slows down over time? That's Bitcoin, isn't it? That's Bitcoin. They're not saying Bitcoin is a security here, but they're using something that is common with Bitcoin. But Ethereum does the same. slows down over time, and they're calling it a security. Very interesting. Do you know what coin doesn't slow down over time? Any idea? Dogecoin. Dogecoin could be the only cryptocurrency that's not a security. It didn't have an ICO. There were no airdrops. It was a fair launch. And no one's talking about Dogecoin as a store of value and Dogecoin as an investment, right? Dogecoin is like a currency. You use it, you spend it. Yeah, the value can go up, the value can go down. Dogecoin is the cryptocurrency that is not a security, according to this. And then this article goes on for Ethereum, the merge backfires. This is the transition from proof of work to proof of stake, because in that transition, the shift to proof of stake significantly impacted the core functionality and incentives for owning ETH, because ETH holders now can profit merely by participating in staking. So now they're starting to poke their fingers at staking proof of stake tokens. So that's interesting. Now, that's not Dogecoin, right? Even more so. But yeah, so here we have the SEC has made various broad statements, insinuations in the past that Ether could be a security. But here it is with the New York Attorney General. So there's some FUD there. And then we've got the Dow, right? The stock market went down today because bank stocks were collapsing. Yeah, bank stocks. And it wasn't just Silvergate, because Silvergate was crashing, from a few days ago. Today it was the Silicon Valley Bank that went down 60% today. Big crash in that one. And other bank stocks from JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, all going down like 6% today. So the banks are the most important sector of the market, ominously shifting the financial health of institutions, with Silvergate's collapse spurring concerns of more stringent banking regulations. So that's all of the stuff that was going on that was dropping the markets today. So we had that as well. And of course, we do have the CPI data. We've got the jobs reports, these other things happening that not good for the markets. So all of that just led to this big crash today. It was just a crash. So big drop happening. Bitcoin still struggling to stay over 20,000 here tonight. We'll see whether it drops below or not. It's not getting a good bounce back up. It's not making that real nice V that we would have liked to have seen, big bounce back up. One that does have a V that I have is Ribbon Finance. Ribbon took a big hit today, but it's bouncing back up really nice. This is what I want to see Bitcoin do. I want to see Bitcoin make this nice bounce back up. Ribbon just about to get back up over 20 cents, which would be good. But Bitcoin isn't doing this bounce. So Ribbon's already up 8% here in the last 2 hours with this nice bounce. So people behind Ribbon are like, this was way too low. A lot of people buying Ribbon back up. But not Bitcoin. Bitcoin started to come back up and then drop back down. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll zoom back into the 5-minute here and watch it real close. See what's going on there. What else going on today on Doge? Why Dogecoin is getting hammered? Well, it's not the only crypto getting hammered. We go to the heat map. A lot of red on the heat map here on Coin360. Bitcoin down 7.5%. Dominance down to 40%. ETH down 6.8%. pretty bad. We had some good ones. Aptos is up. I've got some Aptos, and that one's up. So that's why we talk about having some, some other coins and not just putting all your eggs in one basket. We call it diversity. So at least you can feel good about something, which I do about Aptos. So that's one of mine that's in the green, but just about everything else is red. Kind of interesting. We go to CoinMarketCap and like everything's in the red. Just everything is just down. So we can look at over the past 24 hours which coins are actually holding pretty well. And here's Aptos right here, up 8.5%. So Aptos hasn't gotten hit as bad as most other coins today. So there's a little bit of green in the market, which is good. So another article here, Dogecoin falling over 5% amid wider cryptocurrency weaknesses. And this is just another article just looking at this pressure that's forming on the cryptocurrency market right now, that this could be a long ball game here to try and get through the FUD and trying to work out what regulations there may be in crypto and these tax plans and all of this. There's a lot going on. But they're hitting the exchanges. They're going after the exchanges. Now, Brian Armstrong of Coinbase has already said he's going to sue back. He's going to sue the SEC if they start poking around at him again on what's a security and what's a commodity. If this New York Attorney General suit against KuCoin was filed against Coinbase, Coinbase was going to countersue. They'd countersue. Brian's ready to go because there's nothing defining it. There's no definition. This Howey test, right? That's so vague. And that Howey test was made like 100 years ago or something. It doesn't apply really to cryptocurrencies. So, yeah. So we have that going on. Crypto traders suffer over $300 million of losses in liquidations. That's right, liquidations. So these are people on Bitcoin. We go here to, let's look at the 4-hour, right? And Bitcoin had this big dump back here last Thursday. It was a week ago, right? There was this big dump. And guess what happened? A lot of people started buying Bitcoin down here as a long with leverage. That's right. Buying Bitcoin with leverage in a long position. So convinced Bitcoin was going to be back up to 25,000 from this 22,400 range, that they were buying Bitcoin long with leverage. And guess what? They got liquidated. Hundreds of millions of dollars liquidated in just Bitcoin alone. A lot in ETH too, and a number of other coins. Why people in a bear market are buying with leverage long. I don't know. I don't know what information they're following, thinking that after this drop that Bitcoin was going to go back up. I would be doing that, but I don't trade that way anyway. I don't use any leverage. And I don't short. I know some people were shorting today as this started to go down. People were on Twitter were talking about shorting today, and they made some money. Open short positions and closed them real quick. Scalping, making some money. Traders do that. That happens. And today was a day to do that. Yeah, it's tough though. We're sitting here trying to do the right thing, buying when we think it's low, and then you're just faced with this, and it's tough. I know it's tough. Hey, Johnny, my bonus hits my account tomorrow. What to buy? You're going to have a lot of choices. And you might have a lot of choices at lower prices than they are right now, even depending on how this trading goes overnight. So do your research, and it's your risk on what you're going to be buying, but a lot of opportunities there. Why do you always need to have money on the sidelines? Waiting for time like this. That's right. That's why it's good to have some cash. And I've been waiting. I had cash back from the end of January that I didn't spend throughout February. And then I had my end of February cash that I added to that. I did some purchases in Feb, but now I used up all my buying power on my different exchanges, which are all right here. There's Coinbase, Binance US, and there's Robinhood. I have links to all those in the description below. Coinbase, you use my link and join Coinbase. Put at least $100 on there, and they'll give you $10 free Bitcoin. Robinhood, you get free stocks. You can sell those stocks and buy crypto with it. Same with Webull. Webull also has another promotion where you can get free crypto if you join Webull. I've got stocks and some crypto on Webull. I'm not actively trading on Webull right now, but I did buy a bunch of Tesla on there at the end of December, which turned out to be really good price on the Tesla that I bought. Although Tesla got hurt today too. Past couple of days, Tesla's been down a bit. But that's what happens. Exchange war is going to be amazing. Yeah. Oh, and also, Jason, thank you. Reminder, everybody hit the like button. Appreciate that. Get some more people coming in. Definitely appreciate the support. Buy the dip. Yep. Yeah. Before Elon bought Twitter, Doge was hanging out in the 5s. Will Dogecoin retest those numbers? I don't know. Right now, it's looking like 6.4 is support. Can put a new line there, right at 6.4. That seems to be support line. Put that in yellow there. So we'll see. Personally, at this point, I'd like to see it all just reverse and get back into some green. But right now, it looks like it's going to just be hanging out down here. And maybe we're going to trade between like 6.5 and 7 cents for a while, with Bitcoin, testing 20,000, maybe through the week. I don't know. We'll see. Not huge volume today, kind of big volume, but not huge if you compare it back to the FTX crash and the Luna crash. Today's crash wasn't anywhere near those volume levels. So you didn't have a lot of panic selling, but there was certainly a lot of trading going on today with Bitcoin going down. That was for sure. And right now, I don't know. It's still some heavy volume here happening, but the MACD is turning back around. So we'll see whether we get some green going there. Sinue, how are you? PawSwap, the first Shibarium project. I don't know. I don't know what PawSwap is. I'm not really tied into the whole SHIB ecosystem and everything going on there. To be honest, I just bought some SHIB for the next run. I've been covering some of the Shibarium news going on, really the beta testing and that. But yeah, Joshua, bad timing for Shibarium to come out. But in the long run, it's probably going to work out. We're just not going to see a big pump with that news, with that Shibarium news, like you would see in a bull market. But in bear markets, this is the time for projects, to work on projects. And The SHIB devs have been doing that. So, I mean, I think that's good for SHIB, all the SHIB holders for over a year, wondering whether they're being stuck with these big bags and SHIB would just eventually go to zero. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. So SHIB will see its day, and it's going to go on some big run somewhere. So I wanted to make sure I had some SHIB for the next run because I wasn't going to miss it. There's a lot of Ethereum whales we know that are behind SHIB. And they're not going to let it go to zero. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. April tax money. Those that were getting money back should be getting it back now. Most people that are getting returns, that overpaid, did their taxes back in February. So they're getting their money now. You don't wait till April 15th if you're getting money back. Why would you want to wait till April 15th? Those are for the ones they have to pay. Then you wait for the last minute. What else did we have? We have this. So Bitcoin price falls to a multi-month low, just below 20,000. Hasn't seen that since January. But data points to a possible short-term bounce. So will there be a bounce in the Bitcoin and altcoin prices now? March started off on a low due to the resurrection of inflationary fears. And then we had the hawkish comments from Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. And then there's this talk about maybe this 50 basis point hike instead of 25 at the next FOMC meeting in a couple weeks. So, that wasn't great. And then we've got this other thing. The US government has $1 billion in Bitcoin, which were from all of that Silk Road stuff that was done years ago. And apparently it's being moved. And a lot of people are worried that there's going to be a big sell-off on that. Now, is that FUD or not? I don't know. But yeah, we'll see about that. But then we have Silvergate, going under. So all of this has led to Bitcoin now, right around 20,000. So a spike in negative sentiment may preclude a bounce. The flurry of bad news, price drops, caused a significant dip. And what they're looking at is they're looking at the difference of trading prices between Coinbase and Binance. Coinbase, United States, Binance worldwide, and they look at what those differences are in prices. And they're minuscule differences, but they are differences, and they do track it. And so the demand in the United States versus the rest of the world, and that the premium has come to a 2-month low as this negative news piled on. So they're thinking that there are probabilities of price bounces. I don't know. The people who watch these things right now are just like, But we do see that. The fear and greed index has slipped down to 44. So that's, it hasn't seen that level in a couple months. But it isn't anywhere near between that 10 to 25 level that it was on back in November and December, when it was fear. It was just red fear. And we've been bouncing around 50 or so, but now down to 44. Yeah. So some negative sentiment, but we still see positive accumulation happening. Holdings of Bitcoin miners have been on the rise. So that's good. The miners are now, instead of selling, they're holding. Average daily dollars moved through the Bitcoin network. On-chain metrics formed crucial bull-bear pivot line. Prices slide back below that level could invalidate the early 2023 gains and then it could throw the market back into a long-term trend. So that could still happen. What are we going to see with these Fed rate hikes coming in the next 2 weeks with FOMC? That could lead to further decline, or is it just going to be 25 basis points again? That's already priced in. All is good, right? Compilation of negative news over bearish macroeconomic setting has led to this increase in market volatility, which we saw today. So this was the big dip today. Could we fuel a short-term upside bounce with people buying the dip? That is what we're going to see tonight. So Bitcoin holding above 20,000 now. That's a good sign, but we'll see how this plays out overnight and into tomorrow. Again, I'm here every night, 9 o'clock. We're looking at the charts, looking at the news, keeping it real. I'm not talking rocket ships to the moon, but I'm also not talking about what the day will come says it's over. No, it's not over. And crypto isn't going anywhere. It's just going to be, a while to turn this around is all I'm saying. It's just going to be a while. So we're gonna watch that, play it by ear. If necessary, reposition. It's worth it in the long run. Yeah, now's the time if you're looking at Bitcoin versus alts, stocks versus crypto. Right now, I mean, I would almost be thinking about shifting from stocks into crypto. There's a lot of talk about the S&P 500 dipping down to 3,500, maybe even less, through the summer. And I'm not getting those big bearish vibes in crypto like that. So that might be some repositioning. Crypto is supposedly riskier than most stocks, but right now, I think, particularly with Bitcoin, again, the scarcity of Bitcoin and what's happening with, leading up to a year from now at the next halving, more and more Bitcoin is going to be seen as this, scarcity and quantity, deflationary store of value, more people buying Bitcoin. And the more Bitcoin can hold steady and even, start going back up, we'll see the altcoins, most altcoins do the same. And I think it's going to be more this time around the altcoins that have good projects going on and not just sort of like we were talking last night about meme coins, right? We're going to see these meme coins trade up just because they have a good community and good devs. Well, what do devs do if it's just a coin that doesn't have any utility? So I think there's going to be a lot of talk about more utility for these coins, like Floki's trying to do, Shibarium is doing. That people are looking for that now. So, yeah, institutions pushing down. They want your BTC. They do want people to sell. Again, the volume wasn't that. I mean, I don't think I saw a lot of fear selling today, just on what I was watching. But there were probably some. There are probably some who were selling here, thinking that they could rebuy back at 18,000, 17,000. They're so convinced Bitcoin was going to go down that low. There could be some traders who are doing that, and maybe they'll be able to scalp and pick some up on a swing trade. Maybe so. But I didn't get the sense that there's the big fear in a drop like we've seen, like I said, back at FTX drop and then the Luna crash. I think those were different. I mean, look at SHIB now. SHIB's actually in the green over the past couple hours. That's the first one on my watch list that's actually showing green, except for Ribbon that we looked at a little bit ago. So there's a little positive movement here. Would like to see SHIB get back up to 11 instead of hovering around 10 here. That would be good. But we'll take it. We'll take it right now, a little bit here. One weird coin was, whoa boy, their HT token. It fell 93% today and then jumped right back up. Now, I'm not a fan of Justin Sun, and I've told you guys this before. People have talked to me about Tron and why am I buying Tron? It's because of this guy. I don't trust him. And when this happened today, all I can look at is this is funny business. This is total funny business. There was a huge amount of selling up here. And then as this dipped all the way down, then it got all bought back up and the price went flying back up. That's the kind of thing the SEC doesn't like. So they may come knocking on Justin Sun's door here about this, or whatever exchange is trading this HT token, they're going to go after. Because, or if they can, I think this exchange is not in the United States, so the SEC can't touch that. But maybe someone else will. Because that's the kind of stuff we don't need in crypto. That's the kind of stuff that leads to all of this FUD against exchanges and crypto in general when you see this kind of stuff, along with the hacks and other things going on. It's time to get rid of that stuff so that crypto can evolve into what it's really meant to be. So we'll see how all that plays out. But yeah, I saw this today. It was just like, oh my God. Yeah, craziness. Let's see what's going on the heat map now. Let me refresh this. I think most of it's still going to be red. We haven't seen a lot of movement up in most coins. Everything is kind of going a little bit sideways right now. So we'll see. Yeah, we're waiting for this to populate back up. Here we go. Yeah, 7.68, 7.05 for ETH. XRP down 5. XRP has been trading very well. I think there's a lot of people who believe that XRP is going to win this case against the SEC, which is going to cause XRP just to take off. And I think a lot of cryptocurrency would trade up with it. So that will be good to see. I'm rooting for Ripple in this one. I'm rooting for them to win. I don't hold any XRP, but I hope they win. It's good for Doge. It's good for Bitcoin. Good for crypto. So we hope that happens. Doge just hanging 655. So yeah, again, we'll be watching that tonight. As a reminder, here I am on Twitter, Kriss. Please follow me. I know Jason followed me today. Thank you, Jason. But for others as well. I've been posting some funny videos, but also been talking about some crypto as well. So kind of mixing crypto in with some other stuff that I see. Yeah, at Kriss on Twitter. Please give me a follow, and I will follow you back. How about that? Let's do it. Let's have fun on Twitter. Also on YouTube, please, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe. Certainly appreciate the support there. You can be notified when these live streams start, which is 9 o'clock every night. This is East Coast Boston time, where I am in the United States. So wherever you are in the world, check it out, because all my live streams do become videos as well. So you can watch them and leave comments on the videos as well. So that's it for tonight. I'm going to be putting back on the 24/7 chart live stream, so you can check in through YouTube at how Dogecoin is trading, because I keep that Doge chart up all the time. So appreciate that. Well, thank you so much, the sock. Appreciate the follow. Appreciate that very much. Doge again, 6.57, seeing a little green here on the 30-minute. That's good. So see whether maybe that is the little short-term bottom we have here, and going to see some trading up again. We've got unemployment data tomorrow to watch in the United States, which may affect the market some. It's a Friday. See how things go. And then tomorrow night, we'll be talking about crypto trading for the weekend. We'll be looking at the weekend ahead. So join me again, 9 o'clock on Friday night. We'll be talking about that. Till then, hope you are well, and we will see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.